Every man wants to be seen as strong, but what if the very things you're doing every day are making women see you as weak? See, weakness is not always about muscles or money. A man can have both and still look powerless in her eyes. Weakness shows in your presence, in the way you speak, the way you react, and the way you carry yourself when nobody is watching. And here's the hard truth. Women notice it faster than you think. They don't always call it out, but they feel it. And once they sense weakness, respect starts slipping. Attraction fades, and the way she treats you begins to change. So today, I'm going to expose 7 clear signs that make women see you as weak and how to fix them before it's too late. 1, you have no boundaries. Let me tell you something most men ignore. A woman may smile when you say yes to everything. She may even enjoy it when you bend over backwards for her in the beginning. But deep down, she's watching, she's noticing, and she's testing. A man without boundaries is like an open gate. Anyone can walk in, stay as long as they like, and leave whenever they please. There's no security, no structure, no resistance. And women sense that instantly. Think about this. When was the last time you actually told a woman no? When was the last time you stood your ground even when it meant she'd be upset? Because here's the truth. If you can't protect your own peace, your own time, your own values, she can't trust you to protect hers either. It's not that women want controlling men. No, it's deeper than that. They want to know if you have a backbone, if you'll fold every time she pushes. And trust me, she will push. Not always to hurt you, but to see if you're solid, to see if you're someone worth respecting. At first, she might accept your endless yeses. She might enjoy the gifts, the availability, the fact that you're always one call away. But as weeks turn into months, that same sweetness turns sour. It tells her you're too afraid to disappoint her, and fear is weakness. The man without boundaries is not strong. He's a servant. And women don't fall in love with servants. They may use them, lean on them, even take advantage for a while, but they don't admire them. And without admiration, attraction dies. So how do you fix this? Start small. If you're tired, say no. If something goes against your values, refuse it. Stop letting her words scare you into silence. Because a woman would rather be upset with a man who respects himself than comfortable with a man who doesn't. Boundaries are not about pushing her away. They're about showing her you're not afraid to lose her. And that kind of strength, that's the very thing that makes her want to stay. 2, you constantly seek validation. Picture this. A man looks at his girlfriend and says, "Do you still love me?" She smiles and says, "Yes." The next day, he asks again. She reassures him again. A week later, he's back with the same question. At first, she may think it's cute, but soon her patience fades because here's what she hears beneath those words. "I don't believe in myself." When you need her approval for every move, when you're constantly fishing for reassurance, you're not showing vulnerability, you're showing insecurity. And insecurity is like poison. It eats away at attraction bit by bit until nothing is left. See, women want to feel wanted, but they don't want to be your lifeline. They don't want to carry the heavy load of reminding you every day that you're enough. That's not romance, that's babysitting. The moment she realizes her words have more power over your self-esteem than your own belief, she loses respect. And once respect is gone, the relationship is already sinking. The solution isn't complicated. You fix this by rooting your worth in yourself, not in her. You stop asking, "Am I enough?" and you start living as if you are. Because truthfully, if you don't believe it, no amount of her reassurance will ever convince you. And women, they don't want to build your confidence for you. They want to witness it already alive in you. They want to stand beside a man who doesn't just hope he's valuable but knows it. When you find that strength inside, her respect grows, her attraction deepens, and suddenly she doesn't need to say, "I love you," every 5 minutes, because you carry that truth in the way you live. 3, jealousy and possessiveness run your life. Imagine this. She gets a text from a friend and your heart starts racing. She's laughing on the phone and you're already suspicious. She mentions a male co-worker and you're interrogating her like a detective. Sound familiar? That's not love, that's fear. And fear is weakness. A jealous man thinks he's protecting his relationship, but what he's really doing is strangling it. Because women don't admire a man who checks her phone, questions her every move, or panics every time she's not around. That doesn't say strength. It screams insecurity. Here's the truth. Loyalty cannot be forced. If she wants to stay, she will. If she wants to leave, she will. You can't chain someone's heart. And the harder you try, the faster she'll slip through your fingers. A strong man doesn't lose his peace over shadows. He doesn't worry about imaginary threats. He knows this. If she's his, she's his. If she's not, she's free to go. That calm confidence is what women respect. That's what keeps them loyal. Not handcuffs of jealousy, but the freedom of trust. Fixing this means learning to trust yourself first. When you know you're enough, you don't fear losing her to another man. Because if she leaves, it's not because you lacked. It's because she chose wrong. And nothing attracts a woman more than a man who says, I'm secure with or without you. That's real strength. 4. Indecisiveness. Let's be real. Few things frustrate a woman more than a man who can't make up his mind. Where do you want to eat? I don't know. You pick. What do you want to do this weekend? Anything is fine. At first, she may shrug it off, but over time, this indecision starts to chip away at her attraction, because here's the psychology behind it. Women crave reliability. They want to know you can lead, that you can take charge without hesitation. Indecision doesn't look like kindness. It looks like weakness. A man who constantly asks for permission to move, who can't decide for himself, ends up looking unreliable. And women do not want to build a life with someone they cannot rely on. Now, don't get it wrong. Being decisive doesn't mean you bulldoze over her thoughts. It doesn't mean you never listen. It means you can gather input, but ultimately you make the choice. You set direction. You create clarity. The way out of indecision is simple. Practice making small choices. Pick the restaurant, choose the time, decide the plan, and stand by it. Women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for presence. For a man who can say, this is what we'll do, and own it. Indecision kills attraction because it whispers to her he can't handle life. But when you lead with clarity, even in small ways, she feels safe. And safety, that's the root of respect. 5. You tolerate disrespect. This one stings because a lot of men secretly know it's true. You let her raise her voice at you, ignore your needs, flirt with others in front of you, and you stay silent. Maybe you think staying quiet will keep the peace, but really it tells her you have no standards. And a man without standards is weak. Respect is the foundation of attraction. Once she loses it, the relationship is already over, even if she hasn't left yet. Because deep down, she can't admire a man who lets himself be treated like an afterthought. Here's the painful truth. The moment you accept disrespect, you teach her that it's okay. And you teach her that no matter how low she goes, you'll still stay. And that lesson is one she will never unlearn. Fixing this doesn't mean yelling or fighting. It means calmly walking away. It means it's showing her through your actions that you value yourself enough to not accept crumbs. Women don't always say it, but they admire men who demand respect. They test limits not to destroy you, but to see if you'll stand tall. And when you do, that's when her admiration deepens. 6. Endless complaining without action. We all complain sometimes. That's human. But constant complaining without ever changing, that's weakness. Women listen at first. They may even comfort you. But if all they hear is the same broken record, I hate my job. I'll start a business one day. I'll get in shape tomorrow. Yet you never act. They lose respect. Because here's the truth. Words without movement are excuses. And excuses are the language of weakness. A woman doesn't need a perfect man. She doesn't need a man who always wins. But she does need a man who tries, who moves, who takes one step, even if it's small. The moment she realizes you'd rather talk about your problems than solve them, attraction fades. Because what she sees isn't just laziness, it's wasted potential. And wasted potential is deeply unattractive. The fix: stop talking so much. Start moving. Show her you're a man of action, not just promises, because women respect effort, even if you fall short. What they cannot respect is a man who never even tries. 7. You put her on a pedestal. Every man thinks making a woman the center of his world will make her love him more. But it does the opposite. When you treat her like a goddess, when your entire life revolves around her, she doesn't feel special. She feels suffocated. And worse, she starts seeing you as small. Here's why. Attraction isn't built when you orbit around her. It's built when you stand tall with your own vision, your own mission, your own fire. Women want to join your life, not become your whole life. Yes, she wants to feel cherished. She wants to know she matters, she does not want to feel like you have no existence outside of her. That kind of devotion might feel romantic for a while, but soon it feels like weakness. The truth is, she wants to admire you. She wants to look at you and think, this man would still rise, even if I wasn't here. That's what makes her respect you. That's what makes her stay. So stop worshipping her. Stop treating her like she's the only thing that gives your life meaning. Instead, build a life so strong, so full, that she feels lucky to be part of it. That's the kind of strength women can't resist. So here's the truth. Weakness is not about failing once or twice. It's not about being emotional or making mistakes. Those are human. Real weakness is when you stay stuck in patterns that kill, respect, and crush attraction. A woman doesn't fall out of love overnight. It happens slowly, piece by piece, when she sees these signs in you. No boundaries, constant validation seeking, jealousy, indecision, tolerating disrespect, endless complaining, and putting her on a pedestal. But the good news, every single one of these signs can be fixed. And the moment you choose to fix them, everything shifts. Your energy changes. The way women look at you changes. Most importantly, the way you see yourself changes. Remember this, the strongest man is not the one who pretends to have no flaws. It's the one who faces his weakness and refuses to stay the same. That's the man she respects. That's the man she desires. And that's the man you can become. If this video spoke to you, don't just scroll away. Take a second to hit like because it helps the channel reach more men who need this message. Subscribe to my channel you want. More content breaking down female psychology and real relationship truths. And drop a comment below. Which of these 7 signs do you need to work on the most? Right now, I'll be reading through and replying to as many as I can.